Seltzer.com. Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in the Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Holloway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News, everybody, bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. D'Anthony, what are the chances that we do an entire episode, a tribute to Rosalind Carter, former First Lady, dead of a fentanyl overdose? It's 99 years old, and then boom, 48 hours later, we lose somebody at a hundo. That's kind of like a one-upsman type deal for me, you know?
I mean, I'm sure he planned it that way.
Had to have, right?
He wasn't a particularly nice man.
No, he was a piece of shit. Yeah. And I bet he was like, wait, is Rosalind dead? Cool, you can go ahead and cut it, dude. You can cut it. This guy ended my life. Well, like, we're good. I beat Rosalind. He had a weird vendetta against her.
He probably did, because a lot of the foreign policy plans that, so the modern, like, neocon nation building, let's be the world police and enforce our will against random countries all over the world. Mm-hmm. That was Henry Kissinger. He's the architect of all of that stuff, right? Yeah. Since the 1960s. So, I'm sure. I don't think Jimmy Carter necessarily was against all that stuff, but his incompetence to not keep the ball moving forward, I think, probably rubbed Kissinger the wrong way. And Jimmy's, fucking straight up Nosferatu now. There's nothing you can do to him.
Yeah.
So it's the wife. You got to get the wife,
And what I heard was in the 70s, while he was in office, Henry Kissinger actually slapped an entire sack of boiled peanuts right out of her hand, and then said, "You dirty whore, I'll see you at 100.
I don't know about the whore part, but he definitely slapped it. And look, to his... Not that I want to get caught defending Henry Kissinger or anything, but in his defense, she was like slurping those things up during a speech he was giving.
Yep. And
right in the front row, too. And then every time he would look at her and give her a stern look, like, hey, could you knock it off? She would offer him boiled peanuts. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, bitch, I'm from Bavaria. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about boiled peanuts.
And she kept mouthing up to him,
But they're boiled. They're boiled, Henry.
He's like, we smash veal and chicken down with a hammer and then fry it.
Yep.
I don't care about your fucking peanuts, bitch. We don't even have peanuts where I come from.
He sure did say that, and that was all on the record, by the way. In case you haven't heard, Henry Kissinger, the influential former first Secretary of State who earned a reputation as a discerning diplomat, but drew international condemnation and accusations of war crimes, like, I don't know, carpet bombing Cambodia, things like that. Just the fun stuff. He was also key. He played a key role in widening the American presence in Vietnam, which turned out great, not only for them, but for us, right?
Yeah.
I think we all left that amicably. He died on Wednesday. He was 100 years old. Now, I don't know if you saw the headline from Rolling Stone. Or do we call it a headline now that it's not a real magazine? It's just kind of...
Yeah, that's a good question. So
picture.
the corporate press is now calling itself the mainstream media. They used to just call themselves the media. Mm-hmm. Now they're saying mainstream media. But the proper term is legacy media, right?
Right.
Because they are a thing of the past.
Yeah.
So call them legacy media.
Okay.
Just precision of language is important.
So for legacy media, Bob, pull up the Rolling Stone article for people, because this was maybe posted 30 seconds after he died. And the headline just says there, Henry Kissinger, war criminal, beloved by America's ruling class, finally dies.
Yeah, so this is the long one, and then the shorter version was just, you can see it here. This is the social and Google search version.
Read that one.
Henry Kissinger, war criminal, dead at 100. And so for people who don't know, by the way, you put in two different titles when you make these, like a post. You know what I mean? Whether it's for Rolling Stone or your little shit dick blog, there's a sort of SEO social title and then the actual sort of title that you'll get on the page.
Wow, dude. Wow. I mean, they just went for it. So that was, I mean, no lie, like 30 seconds after he died, that was the first thing that popped up in my feed. And I was like, oh, shit. I wonder how long they've been sitting on that. Because you know they do that at these legacy media magazines. Yeah. They've got obits already prepared for people.
Yeah, I mean, but Rolling Stone is not a media organization. It's like just a leftist version of TMZ, basically. Right?
Now, yeah, for sure. They have been for years, actually.
I mean, after the Virginia story, I think it's completely dead as far as.
What about the Dzhokhar Tsarnaev cover?
You got to go to the Boston Bomber.
After. Huh? Virginia was after.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was that the Tiki Torches?
No, the fraternity.
They made up
you're right.
Fictional person that got raped at a UVA frat.
That's right, dude. They got the shit suit out of him for that.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But they're not wrong. The headline's not wrong. He is a war criminal, I guess. Not in the technical sense because he never got convicted of anything. But he's responsible for the deaths of millions of people. Millions of people. Like after the actual despots themselves, as far as just a diplomat goes, I don't know that a diplomat in the history of humanity has more deaths under their belt than Henry Kissinger. And you know, there's you're going to hear a lot of fucking stuff about him in the news over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, a lot of Jewish people who are, institutionalists, I guess, statist people that think that the state has a role in your day-to-day life, love this dude. Yeah. He's like their hero or whatever. No, this guy's a piece of shit. It has nothing to do with the fact that he is Jewish or anything. I mean, he was accomplished. He was one of the more accomplished Jews, right next to Jesus, probably.
Wow, you're putting Kissinger next to Jesus, dude?
Well, I mean, name a more famous Jew than Jesus or
Anne
Kissinger.
Frank.
No.
Yeah. Sandy Koufax.
I pray to Anne Frank.
There are many people in Southeast Asia who know who Kissinger is because he fucking wiped them out, or South America because he wiped them out, that have no idea who fucking Anne Frank is.
Everybody's read the diary.
No. They don't.
Everyone.
Read that. This is a very Western-centric viewpoint you're holding here. No,
they've seen the movie.
That's there. I don't think there even is a movie.
In Asia, where you were naming probably let's say Vietnam, there was a Vietnam version of it.
No, there's not.
There's a little tiny Vietnam girl playing Anne Frank.
I do have a question
Beautiful.
though. Who do you think at the end of their career had a more damaged arm, Sandy Koufax or Jesus Christ?
Oof.
Well, Koufax modern day probably could have been fixed by surgery. I don't know how you fix getting a nail through your fucking wrist, through the wrist bone like that. You know what I mean?
It comes back. It comes back, right?
It's between the ulna and radius. Like you get a fucking spike. I know it says through the hands.
Yeah.
Or you see that in passion plays and stuff, but really it goes through the ulna and radius right down here at the base, so it'll support the weight. Otherwise, your hand would just rip and disintegrate.
Sure.
Sure. So probably Sandy still though, because modern surgery probably could have fixed him, right?
Yeah.
A TJ actually it was his shoulder, right? Just getting his shoulder scoped probably would have fixed it.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is up running around doing shit. So,
yeah, but that's mushrooms. But yeah, a lot of people give Kissinger credit for a couple things, like moving us from containment to détente during the Cold War. Containment was the policy of, which he was deeply involved in as well, but it was the policy of micro wars all over the world to stop the spread of communism. Frankly, I'm not sure why we cared. Mm-hmm. Like if somebody was trying to plant something on the edge of your property that had a fucking negative 50% chance of actually surviving, you might look over there like, hey, get out of here. But you're not going to send a fucking army out there to stop them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let fucking people be communists.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out pretty quick that it doesn't fucking work. There's no reason for us to go interdict communism in South America or Southeast Asia. No fucking reason at all, right? But a lot of people will give him credit for, you know, taking us from that containment period into détente, which means like a period of peace, where he normalized relations between us and the Soviet Union and us and China, right? And people say something like, well, all of the commercial success that China has that we benefit from is largely due to Henry Kissinger. Cool, man. You mean the Cultural Revolution Maoist that used slaveless? So we are basically thanking Henry Kissinger for normalizing relations between us and a fucking slave country that built our cheap trinkets, and we're supposed to be thankful for that. This guy is a piece of human shit, right? And it wasn't just China and Russia, it was all over South America as well. Nothing this guy did, none of the positive outcomes, in my opinion, were worth the millions and millions of lives sacrificed to his fucking, his worldview revolved around this idea of great power competition, right? And it's like, fuck all the plebs and all that stuff. If the top dogs fight against each other a little bit and trade with each other as well, then things will come out better for everybody. Things will come out better for the top 1% of everybody. And I don't mean the way that Occupy Wall Street said 1%. I mean the West, the 1% of the world that survives on more than $1.75 a day, right?
Right.
Which is you and everybody listening to this. You're in the top 1% of the fucking world. He believed that it was okay to extract labor and wealth at the cost of their lives from countries like in Southeast Asia and South America to make white lives better, basically. That's what he believed in. He epitomized everything that was and is currently wrong with U.S. foreign policy, and he's the architect of quite a bit of it. He is Soros 1.0. He's the original Soros. So whenever I see somebody like calling somebody dumb for criticizing the guy because of all his foreign policy successes and all that bullshit, or talking shit about people who are talking shit about Kissinger, that's fucking retarded.
Yeah. Yeah, look, this is the one, I don't know, one maybe two times that I agree with Rolling Stone's headline here. Like, it is what it is. I'm just surprised this guy didn't die earlier. He's one of those people that you just don't think about, and you're like, oh, fuck. Was he still alive? And then he pops up, and he's dead at a hundo, and you're like, shit. But again, it was that Rosalind Carter thing that happened in the 70s that kind of pushed him over, and he outlived her. But guess what? There's still one Carter left, and that's Jimmy. Maybe Jimmy makes it past a hundo here. Probably not, but we're all.
Well, what's he,
we're all hoping
93?
for the best. He's 99.
Oh, he'll make
He's
it.
left balloons.
When's his birthday?
He's got a couple years left.
No, Bobby does not have a couple years left. Like, I'm not letting that go today. He
Oh,
does
man.
not have a couple
His
years
birthday was October 1st, though. He's got a full year.
No shit, he's not
like
gonna make it.
10 months.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's
He's got 10 months.
Fly past
He's
that.
not going to make it, dude. He is 99 left balloons right now, and that's where he's going to end on. And we're going to play that at the funeral, and it's going to happen right before New Year's Eve. Actually, let's go ahead and plan it now, okay? In Georgia, downtown Atlanta, they drop a peach that comes down in the city on New Year's Eve. Let's replace the peach with Jimmy's body and then do that, and that'll be a nice celebration to kind of ring in the new year, okay? I'm just a fan. I think he's the only president from my state. And Bob, you can fact check me on that. But I believe it's only Carter, right? From Georgia. 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 Yeah, fact check it, dude. It's JC, brother.
I think
Jimmy
it's
Carter.
just
Jimmy
yeah, I
Carter.
think it's just Carter.
He's
which
our
is weird because
boy king.
you guys have been there from the beginning.
I know. Isn't that weird, man? But people are
you're-
dumb in Georgia, dude.
You're tied with
we're
tied with Missouri.
We're dumb, dude. Sorry. You know? Herschel Walker could have been the next one. Well, there's still a shot for Herschel. Bob, how is Herschel doing out there?
He's okay. You know,
Are all the numbers still tallied, or are we kind of waiting still? We got
He's
some.
still counting. He's a slow counter.
He's got an abacus, but it's got bulldogs stuff on it, and he keeps getting distracted.
I understand that.
And then I think there's some new vampire movie out, or a TV series or some shit, or a new season of one that already exists.
He heard the rumors about Jenna Ortega being in a Twilight reboot and that kind of.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Wow. That kind of threw him off.
So he's pretty much he's unavailable for the next 3 months.
Okay.
Give or take. We'll see when he comes back.
We'll see when he comes back. We're all rooting for you, though, Jimmy. But if something were to happen, I'm just saying, let's kind of lock that down for New Year's Eve in downtown Atlanta. Next up, Elon Musk doesn't care if you advertise on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. All right, now I was watching this live as this happened on CNBC here. Holy shit. This was wild. The clip that's been seen around the world late last night here, if you haven't noticed, Elon Musk has been on a world tour of sorts after some tweets that he reposted and commented on were alleged as anti-Semitic. Now, he did go to Israel the other day, checked it out, see what was going on here. They did him dirty, though. They gave him a little tiny bulletproof vest, and it was only the size, maybe like 4 inches by 4 inches. And I was like, bro, they did him dirty with that. And then he came back.
Is he going to go to Palestine?
No.
There's no such thing as Palestine, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah.
There's no country called Palestine.
No, there's no country.
And never has been.
Right.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's never been a country. I'm willing to debate everything.
Sure.
But there's never been a country called Palestine.
Not according to New Yorkers last
Well, I was
night.
called
We'll get to that story later.
So there's this dumb bitch. I think she's one of the 1619 Project people, running around saying that Jesus was a Palestinian Jew. Blah blah blah. Palestine wasn't even a fucking word.
Yeah.
Back then, Judea, yes, that's what it was called after Jew, right? Which is 1,200 years older than Islam, by the way.
Yeah.
Just.
That out there.
Numbers and
Actually,
shit.
it should also be worth noting that it wasn't even named Palestine by the Romans until 135 AD.
Yeah.
That after
Until they burned down the temple and they built the fucking mosque on top of the Temple Mount. I mean, what the fuck, dude? I mean, I don't care about the Bible or any of that bullshit. I like reading it.
Yeah.
For shits,
Quick read. It's a fun read.
shits and gigs
Beach
and whatnot, history and such. But I don't. Some people consider that to be a like a fucking land document of some sort, land papers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably not, but it is pretty clear historically speaking. Like, there's the Temple Mount, and they burned it down in 90 AD, I think, and then on top of that is a mosque. Yeah. On top of that, see how that works?
The Romans didn't build the mosque.
No, of course not. Yeah, the Muslims did.
They were busy.
About 700 years.
About 700 years after.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the Romans were out of there by then. Anywho's.
there may have been a couple left.
Maybe.
Who knows, man?
We never know. Anywho's, Elon Musk headed back to the United States, hopped on CNBC Live here to talk about his companies, Tesla, the new Cybertruck, obviously what's happening with the boycott and advertising over there on Twitter. And when he was asked about it last night, live on air, here was his response. Go ahead and play that, Bob.
Obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
Look at
don't
how
want them to
fucking
advertise?
autistic he is, dude.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself.
But
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
He's talking to Bob Iger.
Yep.
well, let me ask you.
You can stop it here. Homeboy's
That's how I
just
feel.
shocked. So the Bob he was referring to is Bob Iger, who is the president of Disney. Now, allegedly, he's gone in with some of the other studio execs, and they've refused
Not allegedly.
to post.
At this very summit, the DealBook Summit earlier in the day on Wednesday, Bob Iger announced that.
No.
So it wasn't like
that I get.
He's responding directly to that.
Correct. But the alleged part was that 2 weeks ago, Bob had made some calls to all the other studio execs and said, hey, let's go on a boycott together. So there was 5 studios who refused to post on Twitter. Now, I want to point out that I think it was like Sony, Paramount, and Disney, and one more. I forget who the 5th one was. But I want to point out, Disney did post when the movie Wish came out last week for Thanksgiving, and it fucking bombed. So clearly, yes, you probably needed Twitter and a lot of other fucking help to get you out of these financial woes.
Twitter doesn't matter.
All of it matters, Bob. For Disney these days,
but they need to do something.
10
certainly,
out of their last 13 movies have lost money.
Twitter ain't gonna fix it. Put more money.
Twitter alone isn't going to fix it. No, but you know, so he goes on. Sorkin goes on to ask him about how do you run a business like that and blah blah blah. And you know, Elon kind of flips it and says, "Well, we'll let the consumer decide. The public, right, is the judge in this particular instance." And he's like, "Well, you know." What do you think? People are just going to start boycotting Disney because of your publicity against the company via Twitter? And he's like, well, they already are. And here's how we know they are. Disney has announced over the past 10 months, $7.5 billion in cuts.
Yep.
In spending cuts. $7.5 billion in spending cuts. And they lose something like $3 billion a year already on their streaming service, right?
Yep.
So you're talking about a $10+ billion cut from their streaming service, which was, you know, they spent the last year or 3 years buying Disney, buying Fox, Hulu, all that shit. And now they're fucking hemorrhaging because people are tired of them trying to fucking put their fingers in children.
Yeah.
Right? And it isn't just the streaming services. It's at the park. 120 people get arrested in a child sex trafficking ring, right, at one of their parks. And they only have 2. You know what I mean? So that's like 1 out of 2 is pretty rough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, people are already fucking kind of turning on them to some degree. So it isn't just about the users on Twitter, Bob. It's not about that. It's about the bad publicity. It's about going up against an American-made company and saying, we're not going to advertise with you because you say things that we find disagreeable. In this era where people are kind of getting fucking pissed off from being told what to do and say all the time.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying I fucking hate like Twitter. Twitter is the worst. Like when we had our last media company we worked for, like Twitter gave us no traffic. We had millions of followers, no traffic. It is like
it's still very much an outrage algorithm right now. Like if you make entertainment content, good fucking luck. Yep. Unless your entertainment is pitting people against each other politically. It's still they still have not figured that out, frankly.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, there's potential now that they're putting full shows on stuff. Interlaced and interstitial fucking advertisements and something like that could probably work, but you know, they've got a long way to go. That's not the point. The point is this is a very bad look for corporate America, right? It's just not a good look.
Yeah, and look, Disney in particular, I could see if they were riding high and they were the Disney of old, but deciding to boycott now on top of the other bullshit that you've done over the last year. Because let's not forget about the theme parks themselves there, where the characters and all that other bullshit were, talking about trans shit, and they wanted, gay shit in fucking kids' faces and everything else. And DeSantis brought the hammer down there, and then it turned out the land they were on wasn't getting taxed forever, and they thought, oh, we don't have to pay taxes here because we're a magical world and it's small after all, and all that other shit. And then the movies end up bombing, right? So 10 out of the last 13 have bombed, and then the others, as far as TV show wise and everything else.
And you're talking about IP. They spent tens of billions. They spent $4 billion on LucasArts.
Oh yeah,
just on LucasArts, and that was like 2006.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago. Then they bought Marvel, and then they bought Nat Geo. They've been gobbling up all this content, and now nobody wants to watch it.
How did that last Marvel movie do?
I don't. What was it?
The Marvels.
The Marvels.
Oh boy,
made about $48.
Yeah.
So everything they've touched has turned to shit. Now, I try to figure it out. Bob and I talked about this briefly on Ross Patterson Revolution. To me, because I take my kids to see this shit on the weekends, it's the stories and the people and trying to jam every race, gender, all the things in there together, and it just doesn't have It's not written the same as it used to. The look of it, even the look of the animation looks cheaper. You can tell there's a lot of cutbacks going on at Disney, and they're also for sale right now. So what do you do here? Now, I've heard for the last year that Disney's real hopes and dreams at the end of the day are to sell to Apple. Apple says, we don't want your shitty streaming service. We want your live sports. So we'll take ESPN. We'll take all the live sports you have. Those do great. And the ratings for live sports right now are through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
If you look at the 2 football games from over the weekend, you have the Eagles breaking 30 million against the Bills, and then Ohio State versus Michigan was 23 million at its peak there. And you're looking at historic numbers that haven't happened in 15 to 18 years. No, you don't need that back catalog. No, you don't need the stupid shit. No, you don't need the 9th iteration of fucking Star Wars. The character that was in the background of the original with the helmet on. Now he deserves his own origin story. People are over it now. And what I think is going to happen, this is my guess with Disney over the next year, is they're going to parcel all of this shit up or acquire like a Hulu or somebody like that and try to map their... Oh, do they really? Jesus Christ. But try to make it more attractive
Hulu's
for
for
a
sale.
massive overall sale. Yeah.
Hulu and Fox are for sale right now.
Okay.
I think and maybe ESPN as well.
Well,
That would be the only one that you should hang on to, probably.
I agree.
But I'm reading the chat, so one of our, I won't say her name here just for, I guess maybe her security's sake, but one of our fans, you guys all know, is works in the stock industry, and Disney eliminated their dividend for this year.
Did they really?
Yeah.
They used to have a pretty high dividend. I think it was about 5%.
That's like...
I used to own Disney stock maybe 10 years ago.
That's like Lehman Brothers stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's not good. That's really, really bad, and it's going to create. Maybe it already did. She said they divested, but chances are it would create a fucking sell off or a short or something like that. And remember, when you're a publicly traded company, your product is not your product. Your product is your stock value, right? Doesn't matter. They could fucking if they can find a way to keep their stock value high, they can put out bomb after bomb, and nobody will care. Nobody that matters.
No.
Right?
No.
So it is what it is, but it isn't looking like that. They're fucking hurting bad. They're hemorrhaging money. They're hemorrhaging money, and they don't have any kind of plan to get out of it.
Because the opposite of this is, let's take a Netflix, right? They're losing fucking money every year, but they're adding subscribers, and their stock is through the roof. And as long as the stockholders and the shareholders are happy, who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Disney, they don't fucking have that. What are they down to, Bob? Is that the stock?
Yeah, they're
at 92.
So they're at 92.35 right now. They're up year to date, but they're down. Like they're down big on the 5-year.
Yeah, I was gonna say I sold this about 5 to 7 years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood, and I believe I sold it at 124 or 122.
Yeah, their peak over the last 5 years was in 2021 at 197.
Ooh. Well, I would have lost.
And then, Bob. If I think 2019 is when Avengers Endgame came out.
Oh shit, you're right.
So they were at 151 around the basically peak Marvel.
Yeah.
But I mean, Netflix doesn't do anything differently in terms of content, right? In terms of like the same dumb kind of woke shit.
No, they'll hoard up. They do a good job of like giving you the woke shit and then giving you the whore shit.
Yeah, I mean, they also put all of Dave Chappelle shit on.
Right.
Yeah,
I think,
and they kind of stood when everybody tried to tell them to take it down. They all stood tall and told them to go fuck themselves. Including their own employees.
Also, I don't know how they're doing this, but they're putting up GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, the video games
on Netflix.
On Netflix next month.
How's that work?
I don't know.
I read that there was a gaming component coming to Netflix, that you could rent the games and play off the fucking thing. That might be it. That would be fun and flirty.
But like truly, one of the biggest problems with Disney is like, forget even the race stuff. Like their shit sucks now.
Yeah. It just sucks.
It just sucks.
Look, the content sucks.
It's just like it could be an all white cast. It's so fucking terrible. Like the perfect example is the Star Wars trilogy, right? The J.J. Abrams Star Wars trilogy. Like, I know people dinged it for like, oh, you gotta have a chick as the lead, or they shove a black guy in there, whatever. But like, all those movies, it doesn't even matter who's in it. Those movies sucked ass.
Yeah.
They were fucking terrible, especially the last one.
Yeah.
My God. Like that, it could not have been worse.
And if your shit's making money, nobody gives a shit. If it's not, people start to fucking care again. So, good luck, Disney. Have fun with all of your shit there.
I mean, think about this. An actor or director can go do the worst possible shit. go away for a couple years and come back, and if they make something good, people are like, Psych murdered his whole family, but this fucking movie is really good, right? Let's bring the whole family around and watch it. They'll do that. All Disney has to do is make good content.
That's it.
Fuck all this other shit. Just make stuff that people actually like, and everybody will forget. They'll go back to Disneyland and Disney World. They'll fucking stop caring about any of this shit.
They will.
That's how the fucking entertainment-driven mind works.
And I have a suggestion for Disney.
Porn.
Bob, if you're listening.
Hardcore gay pornography.
Not that, but
we're not on the
Pirates
same page.
of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp is back, and the bad guy is Kevin Spacey. He was found not guilty, so let's get him back on the screen. Okay? Let's get him back.
Can he do a British accent, I guess?
Fuck yeah, he can. Kevin Spacey?
I don't know, man.
One of the best.
I don't know.
All you remember is all the little southern drawl out of him. But
He sounds exactly the same except for the Southern movie or the show, House of Cards. Every other thing he's ever been in, he sounds exactly the same.
he does plays in London all the time. You know, I know that. We tried him over there for touching a kid behind stage. So yeah. All right, Bob, can you do it? Have you heard him do a British accent?
I'm Googling it right now.
If we could bring that up today, I'd be.
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
Caribbean Queen?
Because if you like Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean, yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
what do you strap yourself on with to
Carabiner.
Yeah, carabiner.
Are they the same fucking root word, Delco, or are you just making shit up?
They sure. Everybody down there's got Caribbean.
But if you say
in
we're
the
going to the
Caribbean.
Caribbean, you'll say that.
Yeah, you're right. It is Pirates of the Caribbean, and then it's Caribbean for everything else.
I don't
say in real
understand
life.
why. This is like colored people versus people of color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the Mandela effect.
Well, no, that's not right.
Yeah, I think that is. I think it's
That's
exactly
not-
right.
The Mandela effect is something false that you believe happened that never actually happened.
Well, I think that's Caribbean, right?
You
I think
slid
somebody just said it,
universes.
and we thought it was there, and then it wasn't there. By the way, everybody, our listeners, keep tagging Dan and I in this fucking Shazam shit with Sinbad. It's not real. Like that's all photoshopped. All right, I don't want to fucking hear about Sinbad anymore. The movie. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about Sinbad the person.
I do. I want him back. I want him tap dancing on my fucking lawn like Danny fucking K. First up, sponsor-wise, we got ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Come on now. Come on. Is the deal 50% off? Bob, go to the website. Is it 50% off over there? I believe it is. I believe it's 50% off everything in the entire store. Look at our happy faces on screen. 50% off all mattresses. Look at that. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit, dude. Everything. Mattresses, pillows, adjustable bases, everything is 50% off at ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Load up the cart as high as it'll go, okay? Then pop in that promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout. Then you're good to go. 50% off there. Once you plug that in, you're going to see a 3-year pay-as-you-go program box. Check it. If your credit's decent enough, guess what, dude? You can stretch out those payments over 3 years, including the 50% off deal. Now's the time. Wait, we just bought Joel a new mattress, an RV mattress. They got RV mattresses there for his new RV out back. So he can sleep in there like a little baby.
I think to make Joel feel at home, though, I'm probably going to spill some liquids and then ejack on that mattress before he gets to use it.
You have to.
Because he's never been on a fresh mattress in his life.
I don't think so either. Joel, have you ever had a brand new mattress in your life? No, he's shaking his head no. Look at that.
And I feel like he's going to get in it and start developing imposter syndrome. Like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
And then he's going to burn his fucking trailer down, which is dangerously close to our building.
Sure is.
And I don't want our building getting burned down. So I'm going to ejack on his fucking mattress just for his sake, not for mine.
And a dirty hobo listener that we have, is that Jacob Nickel back there?
Kruger. Close.
Close.
I think Jacob Nickel was like a murderer or something.
Both. No, I know Jacob Nickel. He's one of us too, but both of them are dirty little hobos. He just handed a half-drank bottle of Crown to Joel.
Gross.
You fucking dirtbag. You couldn't even bring in a new bottle for Christmas?
Yeah, what did you fucking stow that away in your luggage?
Did you get that off your grandpappy's shelf? Cut to him back there. This is real. Look at that. Hold up that fucking bottle, you dirtbag. Get closer to camera. You disgusting fucking earthworm, dude. Look at you. We leave the studio open for listeners, man, and you're welcome to come in. Obviously, bring us gifts and treats.
Oh, what is that gross
What
shit?
is this? What is this? Oh, God. Let me show this to our
Don't
listeners.
drink that.
I'm not going to drink it. D'Amore Raspberry. Hey,
Is that fucking? Oh God, what is that? Liqueur or some shit?
no, I'm gonna smell it, dude.
What?
Smell it.
Dead?
I'm a little stuffed up today. I'm
What?
gonna smell it though.
What dead Salvation Army Santa Claus did you find that on?
Holy shit! I found that. This is a $4 bottle of booze right here, man. All right. It is, right? Hey, go ahead. You want me to drink? No, I'm not touching this. All right, I'll touch it. Give me is that cup for me? Fuck it. All right, fuck it.
He found that cup out in the fucking parking lot too.
Sure he did. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. How much is this fucking bottle for real? Guess.
I bought that. I'm gonna say it's 20-something.
20. All right, it's a $20-something bottle. It's not terrible. It's not like a pop off. You know?
30. Well,
is it?
Yeah, $30 at some places.
Right.
15 at others.
Down here. Here we go. Cheers. What is this? D'Amore Raspberry. This sounds like something you give your wife before. You know, you're like, oh, happy anniversary. Sorry, we're on food stamps. Here's some fucking D'Amore. Man, it tastes like maple syrup. Not good. Not good at all. I didn't even know how you, this is for an ethnicity that I'm not. This is definitely a sweet liqueur. Holy shit. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you two grimy fucks rub one out, dude, and have some shots of that back there. Next up, we got the old China virus 2.0. Doctors in Massachusetts and Ohio are reporting extremely high numbers of children suffering from pneumonia. Fuck, man. Is that going to get me now? I'm a child. I get pneumonia all the time.
It's walking pneumonia.
Great. I've been in the hospital for walking pneumonia 4 times. Amid a mystery wave of infections in China and Europe, Dr. John Kelly in Western Massachusetts.
Hey, shut it up back there,
warns
assholes.
more children. That's what happens. You start drinking the D'Amore and you get a little lippy back there. You grimy fucks. Kids are dying in Ohio right now. Respect us.
Well, I don't think anybody's actually died.
No, they're all close. Health officials in Warren County, Ohio. Man, that's about 30 miles, just about, northeast of
We don't need a
Cincinnati.
fucking geography lesson
We
about
sure
Ohio.
do.
Nobody gives a fuck about
I'm an
that state.
amateur cartographer in my spare time, and I'm a map maker. I like to make maps for my friends at Christmas. Now, they said there have been 142 pediatric cases of the condition dubbed white lung syndrome.
White lungs matter.
Racist. Thanks, CDC, for naming it that. Not only is it above the county average, it also meets the Ohio Department of Health definition of an outbreak. The county's health department said on Wednesday, the spread of cases has raised fears that an American outbreak of the infection that has overwhelmed hospitals in China could actually hit here this winter. Now, several European countries are battling similar cases, but an ongoing investigation is underway in Ohio into what's triggering the wave of illness. But officials do not think it is a new respiratory disease and instead blame a mixture of several common infections all hitting at once. Walking pneumonia.
Well, it's
milder.
It's like flu, RSV season too for kids.
Yep.
Cold, flu, RSV.
RSV ain't nothing to fuck with either. Like
No.
it
Yeah.
sucks ass.
Yeah, it's the one that is more dangerous for children than it is for older people, right? Like COVID was definitely more dangerous for older people, not so much for anybody younger. The flu goes either way depending on the strain year to year, but RSV specifically, young kids like 10 and under, big problem for them. And it does result very frequently in walking pneumonia, which is what you're seeing here. Now, one of the theories is that children's immunity has been weakened by lockdowns and mask wearing and all that stupid shit over the last couple of years. That's probably true. So this might be a particularly brutal year.
Great.
So make sure your kids get sunlight, vitamin D, vitamin C, keep some oregano oil nearby, and don't let them talk to people that look like Jacob Kruger.
No shit, dude.
Don't even if they speak to him, they're probably going to get it.
Man, that bottle is going to get a lot of people pneumonia everywhere. Man, so a serious question here. So they just came out with a vaccination for pneumonia. Dead serious.
Why?
I was offered it.
Just don't get it.
I was offered it. Well, Fortunately, you can't really control that. So
You absolutely can control it. When you feel like you start having a respiratory infection, you treat yourself instead of continuing to work like an asshole.
So when you say treat yourself, we talking about Popeyes or?
No, I'm talking about Petty Manny, right? In that order. I go feet first.
Sure.
Always feet first. Petty Manny, a better liquor than that bullshit.
Yes.
Something that doesn't taste like cough syrup. Maybe a handy if it's the right type of parlor.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It depends if they're Cambodian versus Chinese. Cambodians are down to fucking jack you off.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, because unless you like Henry Kissinger, they're not fans
No.
for obvious reasons.
Do you ask for the Kissinger?
Yeah, but they may drop a fucking grenade in your lap. You know what I mean?
But that's the fun part, right?
I guess. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, sure, go for it. Maybe just a flashbang in your lap and it burns you up a little bit.
Yeah, it burns the carpet.
Yeah.
Just go back to the carpet bombs there. I'm not amped about this fucking story. I can tell you that with the pneumonia. Look, kids, it's knocked me down 4 times. Once was almost forever. So maybe I should get that stupid fucking thing, but I don't know what any of this shit does is the problem, dude. Because this is one you really don't know until you're fucking exhausted. Kids is another story. But adults, shit,
That's
man.
how we-
I've lasted months on pneumonia.
That's how we found out that Rory had RSV. He didn't have pneumonia, but like one day he was just like couldn't keep his eyes open,
So just tired, yeah.
and his
yeah.
O2 was super low.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Then we realized that his O2 was.
Oh, I see. I thought it was his eyes not open. You knew that it was some kind of virus from China.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah, because obviously this slant
It's-
eyes, yeah.
Not slanted, just thin.
Did he go pee-pee in your Coke too, or? Okay. It's... I actually love that joke. I don't care that you don't like it, Bob. You can turn the microphone
I didn't
off
get the
all you
reference
want.
actually.
We Chinese, we play joke. We put pee-pee in your Coke. You never fucking heard that before?
I never. I swear to God.
St. Louis is just a shitty fucking place to
It
grow
really
up,
is, dude. It really is.
It's
Besides
never a real
Nelly.
childhood.
No wonder Nelly escaped.
He did, and now he's doing an all-white country
Yeah,
tour.
he put a Band-Aid under his eye and just fucking said, you know what, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go meet some white people.
Deuces. He was
Out.
gone, dude. He was gone. Next up, tonight's the real debates. D'Anthony Newsom versus DeSantis. Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis, who many expect to be the nominees for their respective parties in 2028, are debating on Fox News tonight. Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom, his counterpart, who is a Democrat, governor in California, will swap social media. What are they doing there? I don't know. I've never heard of antagonism. For an in-person televised debate. Is it on social media or live on Fox?
No,
Fox News.
it's on Hannity.
Okay, it is.
And he's moderating.
Got
well,
it,
actually,
got it,
his
got it.
hair is moderating.
Okay. Trying to understand because I know last time I think DeSantis did the beginning of his campaign on Twitter. Remember we went live
I
and
tried,
it didn't work?
yeah. This is a valiant effort.
But with this, look, we've heard about this for months and months and months, and we've actually talked about it a few times on this show in the past. I was unaware that it was, one, still going on until tonight, two, that these two were still going to do it. It seems odd to me because DeSantis is currently running for president of the United States
sort of.
right now.
Sort of. Right? Like somebody, Alex Stringer, remember that dude we had on the show one time before that drives a pedicab around Austin and shit? Conspiracy theorist guy. He was talking about how we're in a primary right now. Like, not really.
I don't think so.
The leading candidate is 50 points ahead of everybody. That's not a primary.
Really isn't.
So
I saw
whatever.
the Koch brothers are giving all their money and
Yeah.
their support to Nikki Haley.
Yeah. Nikki Haley has the least chance of any major candidate to win. Like, nobody on the right will vote for her.
No,
Nobody.
I'd take Vivek over her. But the Koch brothers can just light that money on fire, and
Yeah, well, they can do that.
they could.
They also own Tesoro Refinery, right? So they make plenty of money.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
yeah.
But as far as this goes, look, Republican strategist Brian Robinson told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, this is my old newspaper back there, ahead of the debate, this is nothing more than a high school version of American Idol. I don't really understand that line.
Well, I mean, he's right, though.
But,
I mean, they're like
but
it's,
high schoolers are in America.
Like, when have we ever? Usually, one or both of these guys would be speaking at their respective convention in July of next year, right before, or actually when they would make the nomination. Like Obama did in 2004, right? That's how he became president. The fact that they're holding this like standalone debate is kind of weird, to be honest.
Unless there's an ulterior motive here, which is that Newsom is going to slide in and take over for Biden.
Yeah, that's possible. We've talked about that before, but I think the Occam's razor, the obvious motive is to fashion yourself as a category of one leading up to the 28 election, right? So you do this, whatever happens, provided you don't fuck it up. They do maybe another debate 2 years from now during the midterm or something like that, and then come 2028, they are the front runners no matter what else happens. Because it'll just be baked into people's mind. Oh, he's the next guy, right? That's the real goal for this.
It is, but do you think people remember?
Oh yeah, I mean, so the internet remembers.
Okay.
That's what's important. So it's good and bad for both people. It's good for DeSantis because he's pretty quick on his feet, and he has he talks shit okay, right? Bad for him because he's a weirdo wearing high heels and has odd mannerisms. So that doesn't play well for social media. For Newsom, he's a lizard person, and everything he says is fucking full of shit, right? But he's got the Bill Clinton. He's got that fucking gift, whatever it is. So good and bad for both guys. But yeah, they'll make it memorable, I'm sure. For me, it's like watching a minor league baseball game. I can't get that into it, really. It's not very exciting. But if I'm bored later, maybe I'll watch it and see how these guys match up later on. Like, it's just scouting, you know what I mean?
Right. It's Jaguars versus the Jets on a Thursday night game for me.
Kind of, yeah. And DeSantis just can't stop stepping on his dick. Every time he earns some goodwill somewhere, he just does something fucking stupid. And we'll talk about it in the next story. But it's just like, we're trying pretty hard to enjoy you, to like you. Done a great job as governor of Florida. Trying really hard to like you. Just take a beat.
But the wild part to me is just policy-wise, having been to both states, obviously living in California for 15 years and then going to Florida 50 fucking million times in the last 2 years. They're polar opposites, dude. One is thriving and has been turned around and is amazing, Florida. And then one is just a shithole that keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm not sure if Hannity's going to be able to say that. I know DeSantis will, but I mean, I don't know what you could say as Newsom to be like, man, I've done a great job here.
Yeah, who the fuck
shit
knows?
In the streets.
Who knows? I mean, they blew a massive budget surplus and just LA County spends $3 billion a year on homelessness.
Yeah,
$3 billion a year on homelessness, and it's only gotten worse. I'm sure DeSantis is going to hammer him for cleaning up San Francisco just for Xi Jinping. He's going to try to tie him to the CCP and shit like that. Yep. That'll be a win for DeSantis. To be honest, there aren't many technical losses out there for DeSantis to find. There aren't a whole lot of minefields. It's just
people only don't like him based on vibes.
Yeah, it's just his tactical approach is not very good.
Policies
he's not a very good politician, which, to be honest, these days you think might make him a little bit more empathetic to people.
That's why I like him better than anyone in the Republican field. Because I don't want the president to be my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I do.
I know.
I do.
A lot of people do.
I want him to be my homie, dude. I want to dap him up.
To be their boyfriend. That's all it is. I want to dap him up. Yeah, I can't even say like, oh, I just want a not empathetic, a charismatic guy or whatever. Like you just want him to be your boyfriend.
No, if financially everything's going well, I don't really give a shit at the end of the day. But it ain't right now, so we got to get the fucking old man out.
Yeah, there aren't any wins out there for Newsom, I don't think. Like, what does he say he's done well? We've protected people from COVID. Like, I don't know that I come out saying that.
I don't know what he's going to say.
To be honest.
I'll watch it.
Like, if you look at the down ballot data, the economy in Florida is better. They didn't lock down. The migration numbers specifically from California to Florida right, are enormous. And you're talking about two states that collectively represent 1/5 of the population of the United States.
Yeah.
Right? Like 1/5 of the U.S. lives in one of these two states.
Yep.
20%. It's like these are two, whether you care or not, these are two pretty important people.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be a bit of a showdown. We might be talking about it later on tonight, actually.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens here. Craggers, Cash Craigister, just gave us his new username there. He just gave us $50 and said, well, RIP, Ross. Thanks to Kruger. Yeah, dude, I'm going to die from whatever the fuck was in that toilet bottle you handed up here. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's actually it's one of those old glass colostomy bags.
A sea bag?
Yeah.
Is that an old sea bag
They
from
used
the
to be
1800s?
glass, you know.
Yeah.
I believe, and one that's sort of kind of crystallized like that with the decorations. I believe that's the type that Rockefeller poop leaked into at the end of his life.
It sure did,
You don't think he was a pusher?
At the end, Rockefeller in his life, he wasn't pushing. He was leaking.
He was leaking, dude. He was a pusher or a leaker. There's pushers and leakers in this life. He was
Speaking of that, I had a meeting with a merch company earlier.
Oh, great. Today?
I think we'll probably be good to go by the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So are you a pusher or a leaker is going to be
That's gotta be a
one.
t-shirt,
And
isn't
then not racist
Yeah. I like that a lot.
or racist question mark is another one I'm thinking about.
Not racist, I like a lot.
Not racist is obvious, but it begs the question why you would even say that. Of
course.
And then racist question mark is like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Can you make a shirt?
We can do whatever the fuck we want,
It
Bob.
just has an arrow pointing and it says, I'm with racist.
Bob, we do what we want here. All right? It's our time.
The answer is obviously yes.
Yeah. The answer is always yes. It's always yes, okay? If you can dream it, you can be
I
it.
don't really like the negative attitude. Here's what I
neither.
would rather hear. Hey, let's make a shirt that says this.
Yeah.
Not can we. Stop asking permission and start fucking shit up.
Let's put our hands out, clasp them together, go in betweensies, hold hands, and then hope for positivity, Bob, okay? Speaking of positivity, our next sponsor is the most positive sponsor we have. It's
I thought it was like-
firstform.com/Drinkin Bros.
I thought you
here.
were going to say something about HIV.
Oh, no, I wasn't. Well, I will say this. The microfactors at firstform.com/Drinkin Bros prevent HIV. I think it says that on the box.
I don't think we or they would be allowed to say that.
No? It's just a guess. I've been taking them every day for, I don't know, a year at this point.
It does support immune health, though. So if you happen
Yeah.
to have HIV, it can't hurt.
Can't hurt. That's all we're saying.
That should be the new tagline. Have HIV, question mark? Well, it can't hurt.
Can't hurt.
Microfactor.
Yeah, microfactor. Boom. And here's the box that sits on my desk here. And it's got a little trap door. Boop, woo. And then a little plastic bag that comes out full of all the vitamins that I need in my day to feel healthy. I've already taken my bag today. I've had my bag, sir. What's in it? Antioxidants, CoQ10s, multivitamins, EFAs, fruits and veggies, and the old probiotics. Now, right now, you're getting free shipping off of orders over $75 over there. Highly recommend their energy drinks and their beef sticks. Man, their protein sticks are nice. Those little breakfast sausage ones, woo-wee. Love them. And they're also doing a sweepstakes. D'Anthony, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so sweepstakes where all you have to do to enter is buy shit.
Yeah.
So it's like the easiest thing of all time, and they're going to give away a brand new custom Polaris RZR Pro XP premium off-road vehicle with a premium sound system and I think 180 horsepower.
Yeah.
Which is like a lot for considering how it's a two-seater. You're going to be able to do some stuff on this thing. So to enter, buy shit from First Form for every $10 you spend, you get one entry.
Yeah.
The end.
The end, dude. And that thing rocks, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking dope. You got to do it by December 17th is the cutoff date, by the way, to enter.
Yeah. Don't be a little dummy out there. Do it now. Next up, BLM leader endorses Trump, huh? A Black Lives Matter leader threw his support behind former President Donald John Trump in the 2024 race for the White House, accusing Democrats of racist policies that are working against the black community. Mark Fisher, who is the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island, big fan of that chapter.
He had to be the co-founder because he's the only black dude that lives in Rhode Island.
He's also the only black man named Mark Fisher. He joined Fox and Friends to discuss why some black voters are leaving the Democrats as they contemplate who they'll vote for in the 2024 presidential election. It's the duplicity of the Democrats. I was getting real close there.
Yeah.
I almost read that
Duplicity is you can just say that word.
No, I wanted to read it in
I know
black
what
voice.
happened, yeah.
You know exactly what I wanted to do there. The hypocrisy. Fisher told Lawrence Jones Tuesday, "We're not stupid," he said. The brothers are not stupid. That's what he said, by the way. I'm not just adding on to that or improvising there. That's actually what he said. The brothers are not stupid. We understand when someone is for us and when someone is not, and it's obvious that the Democratic Party is not for us. The policies actually strike at the heart of the black family and the nuclear family, he continued. Fisher also argued Democrats don't value the black vote during an interview with Kim Iverson's show earlier in the month while praising Trump for advocating policies to uplift the community. We've been used and abused for so long by that party. They don't value our votes. Their policies are basically racist policies. I believe it's a racist party. Donald Trump is just the opposite. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to tell you, and he's going to give it to you straight.
Yeah.
He does.
Before, this isn't a new thing. This isn't because Biden sucks so bad. Remember, Trump got the most votes from black people that a Republican has ever gotten since Lincoln, probably. They couldn't vote back then. So probably this one was probably the most, or at least the highest percentage, rather. Yeah, it makes sense. And then, the media is like, oh, Trump is fucking accepting BLM endorsements. They're like, if you just search Mark Fisher BLM in Google, you'll see articles like Trump accepts BLM endorsement. Like, it's one dude.
Well, none of that
from probably the smallest chapter, because that is the smallest state, and it's the smallest state with the least amount of black people in it, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like, what state has the least amount of black people per capita, Bob?
I would have said Maine or
It's got to
Delaware.
be. It's got to be one of those.
Vermont, maybe.
Vermont, Wyoming, one of those. Montana, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
one of those.
But, I mean, Wyoming only has 560,000 people.
Wyoming only has 11,000 black people in it.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say 11.
Yeah, I did too. I thought you were going to stop at a hard 11.
What about Alaska?
Montana's got 12,000. This is by percent. So Wyoming has 2%. Montana's 1% black. Vermont 2% black with 12,000. So Wyoming, Vermont, and Montana are coming in.
And go ahead and pull up that DeSantis Twitter link there. This is what I meant when when I said he keeps stepping on his dick. Like, he's trying hard to continue to separate himself from Trump in some way or another, right?
Yep.
Like, you get caught in that trap where you have to not distance yourself, but like show yourself to be different, differentiate yourself from the guy who's the leader so you can try to get some traction. That's the way it goes. Bob, you want to read this tweet from Ron DeSantis?
So he's quote tweeting Trump's touting the endorsement, and DeSantis says, BLM praising Donald Trump and Trump celebrating it makes perfect sense. When BLM was burning down cities and assaulting police officers in cities across the country, Trump did nothing but sit in the White House tweeting law and order, all caps.
I don't know if you remember the Jump Out Boys, actually. There were federal agents snatching people off the street that whole time, too.
It was fun.
We did it differently in Florida. I didn't just tweet. I took action and called up the National Guard. We were not going to let our cities burn. As president, I will not sit idly by and watch rioters torch America.
So a couple of things on that. The governor of a state has the right to call up the National Guard. A president does not. President doesn't have the right to deploy active troops to an area in that scenario unless a state of an emergency is declared by the governor, right?
Yep.
So blah, blah, blah. Else there's this little statute called posse comitatus that prevents active duty military from being used in a police role. But regardless of that, this I get it, Ron. You're the second child. You're the second prettiest girl at school. Yeah. I get it, man. Yeah. But this is weak nonsense. Like, it just this idea that we should. I've been in arguments about this earlier today. Lowercase BLM, like ordinary black people who are pissed off at the government, they're the same as rural white people who are pissed off at the government. And it's smart to unite those two groups. It's only a problem for statists for to have those two groups working together, right? So this idea that DeSantis would be like, no, that's BLM. We can't do anything with them. Like, that's not how you fucking build, brother. This is really stupid. And he just keeps doing so. Like, I know he feels like he's got to do something, right? So you start taking swings. The internet and fucking video and shit lasts forever now. You can't do that shit. Don't say dumb stuff like this, because this is dumb.
So what's going to happen here as we get closer to the primaries, and what are we, 50 days away now, I think, at this point?
I don't know.
Is you're going to start seeing more shit like this out of him, because when you're down by 57 points, dude, you got to do something or try something. It's just none of it's working, dude. None of it.
Trump's tweet, or I guess truth, what he called on Truth Social, truth or whatever, is actually, there's a funny line in this. I've done more for black people than any other president, and then parentheses, Lincoln, question mark.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You're goddamn right he has, dude. Fuck, dude. It's so weird he said that, because yes, top two, Lincoln and then Trump for black people. That's all that comes to mind. No one else for me. So yeah, he's correct in that. Next up, Mound Automotive Group. Guilty?
Air.
Mond.
I don't know what any of this means. None of it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
So
you do.
it's one of the largest automotive groups in the country.
I don't
and
know.
It's right here in Austin.
Is it really?
It's like heir to the Charles Mond Toyota or whatever the fuck, who hired that fucking hitman to kill those people.
Oh, that fucking kid from Toyota.
It wasn't just a hitman. It was a fucking former colonel in the IDF, in the Israeli Air Force, and then 2 fucking recon Marines.
No fucking way.
And they've all been found guilty.
All right, so here's the sitch here is they kind of pawn this off as the Toyota kid, who I liked. His dad owns a bunch of dealerships here. Charles Mond was the owner's name? Bob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the son's name is Eric Charles Mond. He didn't get the junior.
So we calling this guy the heir to the Mond fortune?
He's the son of the guy who owns the fucking.
But how many does he own?
This is the oldest.
No. How many dealerships?
I don't know. Enough
total?
that it's a fucking.
I thought it was just
serious.
like 2. Okay.
No.
All right, 3. Oh shit, dude. So yes, I do remember this story, but for a different reason here. I'll say what it is after I read this. 3 people were found guilty in a murder for hire case Friday, including a former Austin businessman. A federal jury in Nashville found Eric Charles Mond, along with Brian Brockway and Adam Carey, both former Marine special operators, guilty of conspiracy. This is it, dude, to commit murder for hire. Brockway, a former Marine from Austin, along with Carey, who is from North Carolina, were convicted on all charges, including kidnapping resulting in death and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Now, Mond, a former Austin auto executive, was found not guilty of kidnapping resulting in death. Whoa. Really? All right.
So, you can get life in prison for any of these charges for the murder for hire part. I don't know about Mond specifically, because he didn't get the kidnapping resulting in death. I think he was not guilty of that. But here's in December of last year, Gilad Peled, who is a former colonel in the Israeli Air Force, who a soft hand, probably. Like, he was in the Air Force. Let's fucking slow it down a little bit, guys. Came over here and told people he was Mossad, probably.
Yeah.
And then started to act as an enforcer, which is, he probably watched Dust, Detroit Urban, whatever the fuck, Tactical Dude, too much. And he pled guilty to 3 charges after he was indicted in 21. That was in December of last year. Then the 4 men charged in connection to the kidnapping and murder of Holly Williams and William Landway in March of 2020 in Nashville. It's Peled, Mond, Carey, and Brockway. So he was a colonel in the Israeli Air Force. They obtained the indictment and stated Mond frequently traveled to Nashville to visit a relative. In February 2020, Mond started texting Williams, whom he previously had a relationship with. She's a hooker, by the way. They don't say this in the article, but she was a prostitute.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
According to court documents, Williams' estranged boyfriend, Landway, who, if you're dating a prostitute, you got to expect she's going to get murdered at some point.
Sure.
Found out and began demanding money from Mond and threatened to expose his relationship with Williams if he wasn't paid. On March 12th, 2020, Williams and Landway were found dead in their car in Nashville. The couple were kidnapped and shot to death before being left in the car, according to records. Press release stated that their bodies were discovered near a construction site by a worker. So Pellet, Brockway, and Carey traveled to Nashville, kidnapped them, threatened and intimidated them, and then when it didn't work out, they just shot them up and left them in a fucking car. It's amateur hour from start to finish here. It's some fucking dumb dig. Like, you're not fucking Joe Biden, son. You know what I mean? You're not Hunter Biden. Your dad owns car dealerships. You can't just go fucking contract kill people and expect to get away with it.
I know. So these guys aren't getting out, right?
Never, no.
Okay.
No.
I'll tell the story. Fuck it. When did you guys start working here, Delco, you and Rob?
2020.
When we moved, so like what, do you remember the month?
I was December 2020.
Did the studio just open downtown, the one we rented?
I was October. So you guys moved here, what, August?
Yeah.
Ish.
Okay. All right. One of these guys was in the studio. One of the guys was in the fucking studio in 2020.
Which one?
So there was a listener here. Once Bob said this, it triggered in the as soon as it was the Toyota kid. We did this story on Ross Patterson Revolution, and it was all giggles and fun then, but we didn't know anything that was going on. It just happened, and they were like, "Oh shit, did you hear about this fucking dude?" And was like, "All right, cool, man." Told the story on Ross Patterson Revolution. One of our listeners came in because we leave the doors open and anybody can come in. He brought one of these guys in, and then the second time he came back, he goes, "Hey, man. Remember that fucking story you guys did around Patterson Revolution?" He goes, "That was the dude who was with me that day." He was like, I was like, "Which one?" He goes, "The military guy." And I go, "Well,
there was two of them.
Yeah.
3 of them, technically. It wasn't one of the Israeli ones.
Right. Whoever it was. And I was like, "No fucking way." And he goes, "Yeah, that was one of them." And I go, "What's the inside shit of all of this?" And they're like, "Well, they're trying to figure, their way out of it now, I guess, or whatever." And I was like, "Man, is there a way out?" Now we have our answer. No, there was no way out of that. Fucking A, dude.
Yeah, and it was only like $750,000 too.
Well, here's the other thing too, man. It's like
you got to pay me more than that. I mean, look.
Wait, $750,000 for the murder?
For the 3 of them, I would imagine that was the total amount of money. So like you got to get me more than $250,000 to kill somebody.
That's not the going rate, though.
It's the going rate for a fucking professional. Professionals don't kill people for $5,000. That's what crackheads do.
That's how you get caught.
Shit, man.
And also, if you're trying to arrange, this is just for all of your edification. If you're trying to arrange something like that, and somebody's asking you to do it for them, it's probably a cop. So ask for a crazy amount of money. And if they say yes, walk the fuck away.
If you say $10 million,
just say it would cost me probably that something like that. I don't know, man. It's a lot of trouble. Probably like $2.5 million, something like that.
Yeah.
And if they don't blink, then that's a cop. Yeah. Just walk away. Yeah. And if they do blink, then it's probably still a cop. To be honest, just don't kill people for money. Maybe.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other reasons to kill people.
Because he goes, the last part of this was, he goes, "Man, I think he'll be fun." Like, I was like, "Well, did he fucking do it?" And he goes, I don't know. He's being accused. And I was like, "Well, shit. Good luck with all of it, obviously." But
no, fuck him. They just killed 2 innocent people.
No shit. But I'm like, what the fuck am I going to say to this guy standing?
Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my building.
He didn't know. He said at that time he was being accused of it because I don't really know, man. He goes, "They're in fucking jail." And I'm like, "All right, cool, man." God, what a weird life, man. Next up, we got Fieldcraft's survival app. D'Anthony, tell everybody about it.
Fieldcraft Survival is a new. Well, we all know what it is. It's Mike Glover's company. They do preparedness stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like not the propaganda version, right? That Bill O'Leary is a fucking survivalist or something. No, it's like bushcraft, survival, disaster prep, medical and trauma training, growing food, all this stuff. They've been doing this. Mike's been doing this for years in limited publications, but mostly in in-person trainings. Yep. We've been to a couple of them. They're always fun. He's a great teacher and shit. Obviously, he's a SAR major from fucking Special Forces. But their new mission is they've developed this app, and their new mission is to prepare every citizen to become prepared to survive the worst case scenario. We're talking about what happens when the lights go out, if the power grid shuts down, or something catastrophic happens. Not fucking malicious shit, for Christ's sake. Until now, there hasn't really been a good platform for any of this stuff because, social media will kick this stuff down because they think it's some kind of domestic terrorist organization. But in reality, it's just a fieldcraft survival app. You can learn all sorts of preparedness stuff from experts in fieldcraft, like jiu-jitsu, combative, self-defense trainings are on there. How to survive in worst-case scenarios, bushcraft survival, disaster prep, medical and trauma training, and all sorts of other shit. So they got 2 programs that you can do. The first one is a monthly subscription where you get 30 days free using the code DrinkinBros30. For the annual subscription, you're going to get 35% off if you pay for the whole year up front. And the code for that is DrinkinBros35. So you pick, but it's got tons of good information in there. I've got it. I check it out all the time. And they're always uploading new content as well. So
it's awesome. Yeah. All you got to do is download the app. Drinkin' Bros 30 is the promo code for 30 days for free. And then if you want to subscribe for the entire year there, you can knock 35% off that annual subscription using Drinkin' Bros 35 over there on Fieldcraft Survival app. Love that guy, dude. He's awesome. Next up. Vlad wants cream pies. That's a great shirt.
That's exactly how he said it too.
Vlad wants cream pies.
It's kind of like Hulk smash, but it was Vlad wants cream pies.
Which I like a lot.
Yeah.
I like a lot.
He didn't turn green though, so don't worry about that.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Okay. Russian President Vladimir Putin is demanding that women in his country have 7, 8, or more children to boost the population. I love it. I love it already.
No pulling out.
No.
Not out of Ukraine, not out of that puss.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. He warned that this is needed to prevent catastrophic demographic problems that could impact the country's economy.
Do you know what demographic problems mean?
Religion, whites.
There we go.
Okay. Is there non-whites in Russia?
Chechnya.
Really?
There are a ton of Asians too. The guy who their commander in chief of the military is Asian.
No shit.
Uh-huh.
What's wrong with the Asians?
Not for long.
Yeah, not gonna be here anymore. Putin called on Russian women to have more children. Ooh. Is there an image
Fuck,
of this?
dude, a Moink box just got delivered to my house.
Let's go,
Fuck
dude.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go. He warned that this is needed to prevent these catastrophic demographic problems that could impact the economy there. But many of our people's lives maintain the tradition of the family where 4, 5, or more children are raised. Recall that in Russian families, our grandmothers and great-grandmothers had both 7 and 8 children. Let us preserve and revive these traditions. Having many children, a large family, should be a norm, a way of life for all the people of Russia. A family is not just the foundation for state and society. It is a spiritual phenomenon and the source of morality there. Look at that. Putin himself, I guess, has 6 kids.
Yeah.
With 3 different partners.
Well, he only recognizes the 2 daughters, but yeah, he's got multiple kids.
Really?
So if you're a dude, he's not necessarily concerned you're at home with the children. He just wants them to be white.
Yeah.
That's what he really cares about. But yeah, this is like one of the reasons that a lot of people on, I guess you could say, the traditional conservative right were accused of being apologists for Putin during the outset of the war in Ukraine because a lot of stuff has happened. Like I know Russia gets lumped in with the Maoist revolution quite a bit, and Stalin was definitely the state as the religion kind of situation, and so is Putin to some degree. But there is a Gothic Christian situation there, right?
Yeah.
So, the nuclear family and stuff like that, if you remember correctly, they had a bunch of anti-gay laws, and it wasn't necessarily about gayness. It was about families. Right?
Actually, I think that just today, I saw a trend on Twitter that they deemed LGBT activists extremists in
Yes,
Russia.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Again, right? Because that's what the Pussy Riot fucking stuff was back in the day.
Were they lesbians?
They're just a fucking indie arm hair band.
Yeah,
So,
but I didn't know if they were lesbians or just having fun.
I don't know. One of them has decent heavies. That's all I remember,
Same
to be
here.
honest. I don't give a shit about their protests. But, a lot of people in the West identified with that struggle because of the erosion of the nuclear family here. It's like, yeah, I can agree with this. Not that I think that American women should be. Nobody should ever be forced to do anything. Not that I think American women need to go out and have 6 or 8 kids. That's a bit much, right?
It's a lot. I got 3, and it's a lot.
But if you're a woman, honestly, one of the most patriotic things you can do is fucking have babies.
I mean, he's honestly touching on a real thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's not just like there's gonna be serious demographic birth rate issues in Europe. It's already happening in Japan and in South Korea. South Korea's birth rate is like
4.
It's fucking terrible. China also having a huge birth rate issue.
So is Japan.
Yeah.
Yep.
China, I want to say their average age is like 50 or something right now.
The only major country that isn't having a birth rate issue right now is India. Yeah. They're the only ones.
Why is that?
I don't fucking know.
I think it's because it's hot. They eat spicy food, and
they just went to the moon.
Caliente.
Yeah. They just landed on the moon.
It's what else are you gonna do there?
If I'm in Russia, I just fucking bone, dude. I mean, it's cold as shit.
Try to train a bear.
Yep.
Drink vodka.
Yep.
And cream pie.
And cream pie, anybody that I possibly could.
And to be honest, there's quite a few super hot Russian girls. I watch them on Pornhub all the time.
Tons. I do this for Mother Russia. Oh,
yeah.
That's the only way I know how to come.
So they've had a bunch of life expectancy is trending, I guess, upward to some degree, but it only reached 71 in 2020. You know what I mean? So, and I'm told it's going back down now. So the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace has said that, quote, some of the objective reasons for Russia's demographic problems reflect historical dynamics. The number of women of childbearing age is falling. The average age at which women are having children is steadily rising. This is the same thing that's happening in America right now.
Yep.
And then more urbanized and well-educated populations produce less children as well. Like, oh, we're smart, so we're gonna wait. It's like, okay, cool, but that's not really good for us.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you're a woman out there, go raw and don't ask him, but tell him to come inside you.
Yes, I agree. The decision is up to you, ladies, okay?
Well,
cream pies are determined by you. They should be. But also Vladimir Putin. He wants it done, okay?
It's not a law yet. It's just a recommendation at this point.
Oh, it is? Okay. I'd really like him to pass it as a law. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
I want to write that law.
You might have a shot at it.
Just so I can name it after myself. The Dan Holloway cream pie law. Just that would be pretty famous.
It would be sweet.
Don't even just call it the Holloway Doctrine.
Holloway Doctrine. And the doctrine is come.
Yeah, hard. All over my face and inside my body.
Not only inside the body.
Oh, that's right. Only inside your body.
I think all internals is what they call it.
I got a little bit too excited there. And,
well, that happened when you bust early.
It sure does. It sure does. Speaking of busting early, why don't you bust out tobacco alternative, blackbuffalo.com, if you're in the mood for some good old-fashioned fun here. If you're 21 and older and use nicotine or tobacco, check out award-winning tobacco alternative Black Buffalo. It's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't. No compromise, never have, never will. Long cut and pouches made from edible green leaves, food-grade ingredients, both with and without pharmaceutical-grade nicotine. Black Buffalo comes in classic flavors like wintergreen, mint, straight, peach, and even blood orange. Their pouches have won multiple awards from industry publications. They're Black Buffalo's best performing products. All products are proudly made in the good old US of A, exclusively for 21 plus adult consumers of nicotine or tobacco. Black Buffalo sells their products online and ships directly to your front door at blackbuffalo.com. You can use the promo code Drinkin Bros for 20% off your first order. Black Buffalo also sells their products in thousands of retailers across the United States. Check their store locator to find the one nearest you. I like that one at the fucking bottom of the street there. The gas station by my house. There's a new one too. Black Buffalo's everywhere. Honor your rituals with Black Buffalo. Now, there is a warning here, all right? The product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco. Yeah, Black Buffalo. Let's go. Next up, wheelchair. Sending more illegals out of Texas. That's right. Governor Wheelchair, a.k.a. Texas Gov. Greg Abbott said Texas will keep on busing migrants from the state to sanctuary cities until the Biden administration takes measures to secure the southern border. Despite criticism from Democrats, Abbott has said the busing program has provided much-needed relief to border towns in Texas, which are often overwhelmed by the number of migrants coming into the country from Mexico. He says Texas will bus migrants to sanctuary cities until Biden secures the border. Wheelchair posted on X. It's weird now that it's X, right? That's Professor X, and I always think of the wheelchair, which is nice.
I mean, if I was him, I'd shave my head and just start over the course of a couple of years, start using a British accent. Because Patrick Stewart can't have much longer to live. Then you can just slide right into that role. Well, you can wheel right into it, roll right into it.
Roll right into it, dude. Some might say it's the role of a lifetime. Nailed it. According to the Texas governor, they have bused more than 12,500 migrants to Washington, D.C., 25,000 to New York City, 20,000 to Chicago, 3,200 to Philadelphia, Delco, that's for you, 7,400 to Denver, and just over 1,000 to Los Angeles. Abbott has argued that the so-called sanctuary cities have the luxury of disingenuously claiming to welcome illegal immigrants without having to actually face the influx that the border towns deal with on a daily basis. In one case, a 94-year-old Army War veteran was evicted from his nursing home, which now houses migrants for free.
Not migrants, illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Criminals.
Well,
Get the fuck out.
Migrants here.
Yeah, so New York City is expanding their assistance to asylum seekers to help them complete applications for asylum, work authorization, and other programs. As the city continues to grapple with an illegal immigration crisis that has led to massive budget cuts already.
Yep.
It's like they're taking money from actual New Yorkers through taxes, and then that money that was supposed to be spent on actual New Yorkers because it was their taxes is now being spent on illegal immigrants.
And all those people in New York are getting the fuck out of there and heading down to the beaches of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida right now. And they couldn't be happier. Trust me, when you go down there, New Yorkers are more than fucking willing to tell you about how happy they are now that they're out of New York. Speaking of New York, D'Anthony, did you see the footage last night at the Rockefeller Center? That was nice.
Yeah, you're talking about all those fucking rags.
Yeah, pop that up on Twitter, Bob.
Like what the fuck does the 30 Rock Christmas tree have to do with it? What's the Oakland City Council have to do with Palestine or Israel? Nobody fucking knows. They just want to fucking they're professional protesters. These people.
I'm not sure.
We really need to start dropping J-dams on these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
man.
pull up the Rockefeller Center tree last night.
We have better footage. I think.
Oh, you do?
I want to ask about Greg Abbott, and I have a question for you.
Oh, is it him jumping a wheelchair?
Yeah, did he jump his wheelchair into the Christmas tree?
No, he jumped the Grand Canyon. He's like, hey, if I make this, all these illegals got to get out.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Why bother walking when you can fly?
Oh, shit. When did he do this?
This was like the other day.
Look at that, dude. He's on a tandem.
How funny would it be if the fucking chair was behind him?
Oh, God, dude.
It had its own parachute.
Just like FDR.
Look at this goofy retard.
Look at
I mean, it is
dude.
fun as shit. I like how much fun he's having.
Look at how much fun he's having. Holy shit, dude.
Well, it's like he can't even walk, so this is...
Look at how tiny his legs are, Bob. Back that up 15 seconds. He's got those FDR polio legs, too, man.
You want him to hit leg day?
Well, he can't.
Squats, deadlifts.
He can't.
I mean, you can
that's
electrocute
the
those
issue.
things and build some muscle, can't you?
Shock him back to life, maybe.
I mean, I hope he at least pulled, like, for him, I think it would be a dad joke because it's so obvious, but as soon as they landed and he hit the ground, he should be like, oh, my legs!
Yeah.
You know?
I probably would have done that.
I would have done it, too. I agree with you, Dan. I would have loved to seen a wheelchair go out
Dude, that would have been so funny.
out of it, but on a tandem.
Wouldn't you?
So somebody else is flying the wheelchair behind him.
Wouldn't you want to try to land your wheelchair, like rolling?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes,
Like,
dude.
wouldn't you absolutely want
As
to
a matter of fact, Aaron Wheels may have done that.
He might have. Might have.
You know the Nitro Circus wheelchair dude?
He was on the show.
Yeah, he's a super strict Mormon, and we took him down some dark places.
Crazy show.
Yeah.
That was a crazy show. Yeah, but pull up that footage from the Christmas tree ceremony last night. Yeah, 30 Rock. There was protests everywhere, and like coupled with this story and this one, you're like, man, it's hard to find good things about New York anymore. Where you're like, what the fuck has happened there, man?
New York will survive because of finance and shit, but I think LA might die. I think Chicago might die too.
San Francisco's dead. Yeah,
San Francisco's dead already.
Look at how beautiful that is, and then you get all these fucking shitbirds there. Shut it down. What do they want the tree shut down?
They're saying from the river to the sea. Obviously, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea means from Black Sea to the River Jordan.
Yep.
And it means that we're going to push all the Jews into the water.
Yeah.
It's about genocide.
It sure is.
Yeah. It is like, I think it sounds like, I don't know, not necessarily innocuous in English, but like the actual Arab or whatever version of it, like the Arabic language version of it. There's something lost in translation that's a bit more it's quite a bit more insidious in the original language.
But look at this footage here. Like, what the fuck are these poor cops supposed to do? These NYPD here.
I mean, they're doing it.
I mean, what they should.
No, I mean they are. But homeboy on the left there got away. Sucker punched him in the back of the head, and you're just like, come on.
I think they should beat that guy to death.
I agree.
Anybody that's like rooting for another country in our country, just beat him to death.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I agree.
Yeah, like, go protest that and that. Go to Gaza and protest.
Yes, they can use your help right now.
Go to Israel and protest. If you've got a fucking passport, go to Israel and protest at their shit. If you've got a problem with how they're conducting this stuff.
Yeah. So
what the fuck does the goddamn tree lighting ceremony have to do with anything?
I don't know. The other part about this too is what's the ask here with all these protests in all these major cities that we're going to go to our government and ask them to stop funding or giving money to Israel?
Is that what you want to do now?
Who?
You.
Me? I don't want to give money to any of this shit.
No. I mean, I'm saying, like, this interruption of the fucking tree lighting thing, are you going to go call your congressman now and be like, hey, quit it?
Yeah, I mean, is that what the overall goal with this is? Because I see it in all these cities.
Who the fuck knows?
Once again, it's not our fucking war. We're not in it. So
I mean, I think you're seeing the means and the end in the same video. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to protest.
I guess, but like at what point are you not exhausted where you're like, man, New York used to be a fucking awesome city. And maybe it still is in parts, but like, why would you want to ruin an awesome city? I loved fucking San Francisco. I know I've said this a million times, but like, Chicago's great. Like, why do you want to ruin these cities with stupid bullshit that has nothing to fucking do with us?
Well, I mean, these are just professional protesters and then bored people.
It's a lot of fucking people, though, man.
I said, by the way, Black Sea, it's the Mediterranean. Black Sea's north. But yeah, it's. I wonder. You know, we talked about it on Fake News Monday about there are these two groups of people. Nate Silver was looking into this, and I'm hoping he's actually going to have some balls and do some actual like deep level analysis of it. But the group of people who were COVID hawks, who were in favor of forced vaccination and lockdowns and blah blah blah, are the same group of people that are pro-Palestine. Why? Right? It doesn't make to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense. If it was the same group of people who are like the anti-racist BLM crowd, that kind of makes sense because it's a constant victimhood mentality, and anybody that's institutionally powerful, whether it's a particular race or religion or whatever the fuck else, that's going to be the enemy, no matter what. Right? I get that part, but what the fuck did forcing individual people in their homes? Like, or forcing individuals to get vaccinations they didn't want, shit like that. How did that fold in? You know what I mean? And it's just like all part, I guess, if you want to call it the woke mind virus, but what does that really mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I find it very odd, to be honest, because if you map that kind of belief onto, let's say, a religion, or I'm sorry, onto a sports team, it wouldn't make sense because people will bitch about their sport. If their sports team's doing dumb shit and fucking up, they'll be like, fuck these guys.
Right.
Nobody's a diehard when, you know, your coach is fucking up or making mistakes or your players aren't playing hard. But when you map it onto religion, you know, people will be like, oh, I know that some kids get touched, or I know that, you know, people are getting their heads cut off, or I know this, or I know that. But those aren't the real Phillies fans or Eagles fans. Those aren't the real fucking whatever. Those aren't the so to me, it is a religion, right? And you're like forced to believe all of it or none of it. You can't pick and choose. You can't say, well, you know what? I think maybe Palestine, that situation, or the Israel, Gaza, fucking West Bank situation is a little fucked up. But I like personal autonomy. Like I don't want people getting forced vaccinated. You can't hold those independent views because it's the same fucking religion that contains all these people. It's very bizarre to me.
And as far as that religion goes, I wondered last night when I was watching this footage and these events unfold, if they didn't pick the Christmas tree as like the symbol of Christianity and this is Christmas or what. Why there? Why Rockefeller Center? Because it's kind of, it's not Times Square exactly.
No, but it's like,
go down the.
It's like if you were gonna fucking advertise for your company, you're gonna advertise at the Super Bowl if you can, right?
Yeah.
And this is a big event. A lot of eyeballs. It's on TV every year. The fucking don't be shocked if the ball dropping on New Year's Eve is in a fucking protest too.
I can't imagine there's a more photographed part of New York every time of year every year this time of year than that.
You're right. There isn't.
And it's also Fox News headquarters right behind it. I mean, maybe that's part of it too. Although it's also NBC, ABC,
MSNBC,
CBS. I mean, they're all there.
Yeah,
they did. I doubt
Rock.
these people knew or even cared, but they did cancel. What was that guy's name? Mehdi, whatever.
Mehdi Hassan, yeah.
Yeah, they just canceled his show. I doubt they much knew about that, but
MSNBC. Well, it was trending for a little bit last night. He was the only pro-Palestine fucking news anchor, and even over at super liberal.
Just say he's the only supporter of terrorism.
Yeah, he's the only supporter of terrorism. Even over at super fucking liberal MSNBC, they were like, "Well,
I don't know." Joy Reid
crossed the line.
Joy Reid, she's gone too, though, right?
No,
or she's still got a
there.
show.
She's the one who wrote about she hated fucking gays for 12 years on a blog, and she still got her fucking job, which is shocking to me. It's like, oh man, we read all that, and then you lied about it. And then the network lied about it, and then you admitted you did it.
Yeah, there's just like tiers to this stuff. Acceptable social things and how you align yourself with other groups of people. I think it starts kind of like with, and it's probably why religion's wrapped up into a lot of it, but like cultural beliefs and ethics. Who do I consider to be worthy of ethical behavior for me and not? Because dehumanizing the enemy is a big part of certain cultures. And I think it's a big part of, to be honest, I've heard a lot of it from the Israeli culture as well, but it's definitely a big part of the Arab culture to dehumanize Jews specifically. It has been for a very long time. But we choose, kin selection. We choose who we accept into our little world, into our little family, who we consider to be people that should be worthy of our empathy or under our protection or whatever you want to call it. I think it's that first level. It makes sense to align with people to some degree because we talk about Israel being an ally or not. I don't think they're an ally, frankly, but they're definitely closer belief-wise to us than their opponents over there.
Yeah.
So I understand why people would side with them for that reason. But then there's the second stage of that where it's like, okay, but what are the ethics? What are the moral principles, and are they being followed? You got to go that second step there and hold people accountable. Otherwise, this bond that you think you have deteriorates and it's not actually there anymore. That's my take on that.
Yeah.
And I just think it's weird. I mean, this is all just religion, though. And I don't mean Judaism versus Islam or Christianity or that shit. I mean, this is a new fucking religion.
But if you're protesting in the streets of America of wars going on in other fucking countries, in my opinion, you got to get the fuck out, bro.
Yeah.
We got to launch you over there, and look, you want to help Palestine? Go help fight with them. It's that easy. I mean,
all you need is a shovel. They dig tunnels, man.
That's all they do,
Just
bro.
take a shovel.
Just go to fucking Home Depot. Get a shovel. Oh, you can't go to Home Depot anymore. They're boycotting Home Depot. I forgot to tell you.
I'm not.
They are. They gave money to the Republican Party the other day, so fuck them.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's boycotting them, so
everybody gives money to somebody.
I know. Now's the point in the show we get to the Drinking Bro of the Week. I'm going to bring up a special little homie. Here in a second, but we had one that was submitted, and I'm going to read it first. Danny sent this in, right?
Yeah.
Today. Says, hi, Ross and Dan. I'm one of your few, longtime female listeners. We love that. Actually got my husband, Luke
Jaron, listening to the show a couple of years back, and he wanted to nominate. She wanted to nominate him for Drinkin' Bro of the Week. He's deployed over in Saudi for 4 months at PSAB and can't actually have a drink, but he can listen to Drinkin' Bros podcasts and has been almost exclusively because the Wi-Fi is crap and he can only get audio on it. Hey, it all works just the same, brother. You're good. Appreciate you guys making him and me laugh and keeping his spirits up during the holidays while he's away. Cheers. That is from Jamie Lynn. Cheers. Cheers to you guys. We appreciate it, man. Good luck over there. And hopefully you come home safe and you enjoy the shows. They've been out of control this week. Just completely out of fucking control. And then who do we got back there who brought us in JNL barbecue today? Come on up, sir. He's got the same mustache as me. Well, I'm gonna walk that back here for a sec. I'm headed down that path. I'm not there yet. You're already there. You're already there. You got the gay for straight shirt on, dude.
It's called Same But Different.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
It sure is. Look at us, dude.
Usually you do a little.
Yeah, you sure
one
do.
Of those.
You sure
Yeah.
do. Look at you in there.
You can't
Look at
go
you
to
on
the mall looking like this.
You can't. Or
alone.
Or near a middle school.
Yeah, true that. We
Yeah.
drove by one the other day, and I actually sped through it because I thought we would be in danger.
Smart.
You know,
That's a smart thing to do.
if we did the speed limit.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Tell everybody your name.
Cody Fry.
There you go.
From Terre Haute, Indiana.
Love it. Love Indiana this time of year.
Classic Anchorman 2 quote.
The
Did you
winters
get
are
that?
remarkably mild. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, they're terrible.
Big fan, dude. Well, you were here for RPR earlier. I was talking about Anchorman this morning. So,
Yeah.
You get it, dude.
Yeah.
Who do you want to give Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
I'm going to give it to my father.
Okay.
Passed away going on 2 years now. Definitely a drinking bro back in the day.
All right.
Pretty sure if he listened to the show nowadays, he would say that we're all fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But, back in his heyday, for sure, a drinking bro. Pretty sure that's where I got it.
Yeah.
Bud Heavies only.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of
That's how
course.
you do it in the mid-'80s.
That's how everybody used to do it, dude,
Yeah.
back in the
Yeah.
day, you know?
Here with my wife.
Yeah.
We're
Your wife's been here all day. Does she listen to the show? You do? Okay, good. Shit.
She does. RPR is almost a literal version of us.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's me singing about dicks and stuff, and her just waiting for the thing to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like RPR.
No, I get it. My wife loves me. You know, she loves
This
me.
is actually part of our honeymoon
Is it really?
vacation. Yeah. We
Shit.
decided to come here to fuck around.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, guys. When did you guys get married? Back in May. May 20th. Look at you.
We didn't send the invite because we knew you wouldn't come.
I appreciate it.
But
We
I almost
can't
did just to get a gift.
Oh, you wanted a gift?
Almost.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it.
I tell you what.
Because I don't deserve it.
Well, you do. You do deserve it. You brought us JNL Barbecue here today, which we love in Austin. It's our favorite barbecue joint down here in Austin. And whenever somebody brings food for us and the staff, well, it's going to be a great goddamn day.
Yeah.
So we're amped to have you guys here. Thanks for coming down and spending part of your honeymoon with us. So what we'll do is, how long are you here for?
I will be here till tomorrow. We're going to Shiner.
Are you driving?
Driving.
Okay, great. So we're going to give you 3 cases of Hard AF Seltzer to take with you. That way you guys can get just absolutely fucking trashed. Have a baby tonight, okay? Look, Putin just said we need more white babies in the world, okay? Both of you guys are white. You can't see her off camera. They're both white. Relax, Putin. Don't come after me. There'll be some more whites in the world for you after tonight because I'm going to give you 3 cases. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, if you don't know anything about Terre Haute, Indiana, it's pretty white.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
That's same goes for all of Indiana, actually. So
Yeah, but true.
Indiana, quite a few times, and a lot of Big Ten championships there. Was
Yeah,
always
well,
going to
the
Indy for
problem
Big Ten
is we
championship.
quit recruiting the whites, and
Oh, yeah.
now we suck at basketball.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
Maybe
That's
if we
true.
get back to that.
Are you a Hoosier fan?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been tough.
They got a good football coach. They just hired a good coach yesterday.
Yeah.
So
They also just fired another coach.
well, that happens. You know, that's life and love. And you guys know all about it because you're happily married. You're going to have a little baby tonight. Probably name it after me, and I love all of it, okay? Are you having kids anytime soon?
Trying.
Okay. Shit. tonight's a good night to start. Thursday night, debate's on, football's on. You're going to have 3 cases of hard AF seltzer. Go for it tonight. All right?
Hard AF at the Marriott. Come on.
Are you at the Marriott downtown?
Yeah.
I like that Marriott, actually. It's nice. I've stayed there before.
It's not too bad.
Yeah,
they had CNN on this morning, so I was kind of concerned that we were at the wrong hotel.
No, it's you're
and
in
no
Austin.
biscuits and gravy.
It's
Are
a
you
blue
kidding
city.
me?
It's a
I'm
blue
from
city.
Indiana, and we like our biscuits and gravy.
Sure do.
So
Midwest?
yeah,
You guys are fucking swimming in it, dude.
I had to make a fucking waffle in the shape of Texas. Kind of pissed me off, but I was like, that is cool.
When in Texas, though.
That's Texas shit for sure.
Was it bigger? Was the waffle bigger?
Oh no, same size.
No, everything's bigger in Texas. That's a lie.
Took 18 cups of fucking syrup. You know, they don't give you the whole thing.
No, I understand that. Worried about diabetes down there.
Yeah.
It's blue city, dude.
Everybody around us is eating grapes. You know.
Yeah?
They're like full on Austin. We're here to be healthy, and I'm like, no, I'm from Indiana.
You're like, dude, I need some biscuits and gravy, dude.
Where's that sugar at?
Yeah. Get it out of the back. Let's get diabetes today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's Indiana. I think that's going to be on the new license plate next year.
Possibly.
Where diabetes still exists.
We vote on it every year. Right now, it's the covered bridge because we're famous for old bridges, you know, wooden bridges across water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan of those. Every time I go there, I think of, man, when's the next wooden bridge? When's that coming up, you know?
I'm pretty sure every time you go there, it's just you driving on 70 and can't wait to get to Ohio.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I asked my wife to eat at a blind restaurant in Indianapolis one night. True story, by the way. There was a blind steakhouse in Indianapolis. So you go in, and I couldn't get a reservation. It was booked, and I was like, man, that's weird. Like, out of all the things that people wanted to go to a blind restaurant in Indiana on a fucking, you know, for a steakhouse, and he goes, yeah, there's only like 8 tables. And I was like, oh, why? And he goes, I mean, it's pretty fucking hard for the waiters to see. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man, I can't. And I finally was like, are they really blind or can they see? And
Yeah.
he
Is
goes,
it owned by Jim Irsay?
No.
That sounds like something.
I know. The whole thing is dining in the dark. So they make it pitch black so that everybody's blind. And then you taste the food. And then they put headphones on you with like a record player. And you get to hear, you know, Nat King Cole. And then taste the steak and not see the girl you're with. Hall & Oates.
I'm glad we live south of that then. Yeah, we don't know anything about that at all.
Pop on up, you know, just for the 1-year anniversary. Try to get a res there, all right? We appreciate you tuning in, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. Jacob, put that dirty bottle away, you hobo, you trash hobo. There you go. Grab a hard AF seltzer. Proud of you. Proud of you. Thanks for tuning in, kids. For D'Anthony and Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin'